Welcome to Stoic in Your Life, where we explore the profound wisdom of Stoicism and apply it to our modern lives. Today's episode delves into a powerful topic: when life hurts, stop clinging to it. Join me as we unravel the teachings of this ancient philosopher, guiding us through the art of letting go and finding serenity amidst life's inevitable ebbs and flows. In this journey, we'll explore 6 key themes from Epictetus's philosophy, each offering a unique perspective on how to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. From understanding our attachments to people, objects, and power, to redefining our relationship with the opinions of others and embracing the impermanence of life, Epictetus's insights are as relevant today as they were in ancient times. So, sit back, relax, and let's embark on this enlightening journey together, discovering how the timeless wisdom of Stoicism can transform our lives and lead us to a place of inner peace and strength. In our pursuit of happiness, we often find ourselves at the mercy of the external world, our sense of well-being held hostage by its unpredictable nature. This predicament, as observed by the Stoic philosopher Epictetus over 2 millennia ago, stems from our tendency to invest emotionally in too many aspects of life, many of which are beyond our control. Epictetus, however, does not advocate for a life devoid of care, but rather for a discerning heart that knows where to invest its concerns. Epictetus introduces us to the dichotomy of control, a fundamental principle that distinguishes between what is within our power and what is not. Embracing this dichotomy empowers us to focus on what we can influence, thereby cultivating a position of strength. Conversely, fixating on elements beyond our control only leads to a state of weakness and unnecessary suffering. This begs the question, what exactly are these elusive elements that we should release from our grasp, and why is it more beneficial to let them go? The philosophy of Epictetus offers a beacon of guidance in this regard. He urges us to concentrate on our internal states, our thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes, rather than external circumstances that are often fleeting and capricious. This approach aligns with the Stoic belief in focusing on self-improvement and personal virtue, as epitomized in the famous quote, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." In the context of modern life, this philosophy is particularly relevant. We live in an era where external validation, material success, and social status are highly prized. Yet these are precisely the aspects of life that we have limited control over. By heeding Epictetus's advice, we learn to detach ourselves from these external factors, instead finding solace and strength in our inner resilience and moral character. To apply this in our daily lives, we must first identify the aspects that are within our control: our actions, intentions, and responses. By focusing our energy here, we cultivate a sense of contentment and peace. On the other hand, when we recognize and accept the limits of our influence over external events, we free ourselves from the burden of trying to control the uncontrollable. In essence, the philosophy of Epictetus teaches us to embrace a life of simplicity, where happiness is not a product of external circumstances but a state of mind. By understanding and applying the dichotomy of control, we can navigate life's challenges with a serene mind and a resilient spirit, embodying the very essence of Stoicism. This philosophy, timeless in its wisdom, offers a roadmap to a life of fulfillment and tranquility, unshaken by the ebbs and flows of the external world. In the profound teachings of Epictetus, as captured in the Discourses and Enchiridion by his student Arrian, we find a treasure trove of wisdom that guides us towards contentment and inner peace. These ancient texts, though centuries old, hold relevance in our modern lives, especially in how we deal with pain and adversity. Epictetus, in the opening chapter of Discourses, presents a powerful perspective on suffering. He asserts that external events only cause us pain if we attach ourselves to them. For instance, he discusses the concept of exile. He suggests that being exiled doesn't inherently bring sorrow. It's our attachment to the idea of exile as a tragedy, our clinging to possessions and loved ones left behind, that breeds suffering. Epictetus himself, facing exile, chose to embrace it with a smile, maintaining cheerfulness and serenity. His stance was clear. What happens to us might not be within our control, but our reaction to it certainly is. By focusing on what we can control, our attitudes and responses, we shield ourselves from the harm external circumstances might otherwise inflict. This brings us to a crucial question. What is within our control and what isn't? Epictetus provides clarity in the Enchiridion. He states, "Some things are in our control and others not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever are our own actions. Things not in our control are body, property, reputation, command, and, in one word, whatever are not our own actions." This distinction is vital in understanding and applying Stoic philosophy. To illustrate this further, let's consider a modern analogy. Imagine you're a YouTuber and your channel suddenly loses subscribers due to an algorithm change, something beyond your control. According to Epictetus, your response to this situation, whether you choose to adapt, learn new strategies, or wallow in despair, is entirely up to you. Your inner peace depends not on the fluctuating subscriber count, but on how you perceive and react to the change. Another story that resonates with Epictetus's teachings is that of a farmer facing unpredictable weather. The farmer can't control the weather, but he can control his preparation for various scenarios and his response to the outcomes. Whether it's a bountiful harvest or a poor one, the farmer's serenity lies in his acceptance and adaptability, not in the external conditions. In essence, Epictetus teaches us to differentiate between what we can and cannot control. By focusing our energy on our own actions, attitudes, and responses, we become impervious to external harm. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent or passive. Rather, it's about proactive acceptance and focusing on our sphere of influence. To conclude, the wisdom of Epictetus offers a timeless lesson for improving our lives. By understanding the boundary between what we can control and what we can't, and by choosing to focus on the former, we can navigate life's challenges with a calm and resilient spirit. This approach not only brings inner peace, but also empowers us to live more effectively and meaningfully. As we apply these Stoic principles, we learn to embrace life's ebbs and flows with grace and fortitude, turning every obstacle into an opportunity for growth and every challenge into a lesson in serenity. In this exploration of Stoic philosophy, we delve into the profound teachings of Epictetus, particularly his views on how we should interact with the world around us. Epictetus, a sage of Stoicism, teaches us a vital lesson. The external world is beyond our control, yet how we respond to it lies firmly in our hands. He doesn't advocate for indifference towards life. Rather, he encourages us to live a virtuous life in harmony with nature, a goal that is entirely within our grasp. However, he warns against attaching ourselves too deeply to things outside our control, as these are transient, fragile, and unreliable. Consider the allure of the external world, brimming with pleasures that seem sweet, yet are never fully satisfying. We often find ourselves drawn to these pleasures, desiring what the world offers and clinging to anything that stimulates our minds and senses. But the pain of loss is real when we lose what we've clung to. The whims of fortune dictate what we gain and lose, and if our happiness is tied to these external factors, then our emotional state becomes a plaything of fortune. Epictetus's wisdom here is clear. To cultivate a robust and stable sense of well-being, we must detach ourselves from what we cannot control. Epictetus doesn't leave us without guidance on how to achieve this detachment. He highlights the power of our reasoning ability and teaches us to devalue things outside our control. For the sake of practicality and to better understand his teachings, I've restructured his methods and situations, drawing from his insights beyond just the first chapter of the Enchiridion. Imagine you're holding a delicate glass. As you use it, enjoy it. But remember, it's fragile. When it breaks, as all things do, you'll say, "I knew it was fragile. and move on without distress. This allegory from Epictetus teaches us to enjoy the world's offerings but to remain untroubled when they inevitably change or disappear. It's a powerful reminder to cherish without attachment, to love without dependency. In the words of another Stoic philosopher, Seneca, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This statement resonates deeply with Epictetus's teachings. Our minds often create suffering far greater than what reality imposes. By understanding and embracing the impermanence of external things, we can reduce the self-inflicted pain that comes from our attachments and expectations. Epictetus's philosophy is not about renunciation of the world, but about engaging with it from a place of inner strength and stability. It's about recognizing what's in our power and what isn't, and finding peace and contentment in that understanding. By focusing on our internal responses and attitudes, we can navigate life's unpredictable tides with grace and resilience. In conclusion, Epictetus's teachings offer a timeless guide to living a fulfilled life. By understanding the limits of our control and focusing on our internal responses, we can cultivate a life of tranquility and virtue. His philosophy encourages us to enjoy life's pleasures, but to remain unattached to them, understanding that our true power lies in our ability to choose our responses to the world around us. In embracing this wisdom, we find a path to enduring happiness and peace, unswayed by the capricious nature of fortune. Stop clinging to the illusion of permanence. Next, we delve into a profound yet often overlooked truth, the impermanence of life. Picture this. Everything you know, everything you cherish, your relationships, possessions, and even your own existence, is like a sandcastle on a beach destined to be washed away by the tides of time. It's a stark reality, but one that Epictetus, a sage of ancient wisdom, urges us to confront. Epictetus teaches us that clinging to the illusion of permanence is a direct path to suffering. Imagine holding on to a leaf in a rapidly flowing river, struggling against the current to keep it from being swept away. This is what we do when we desperately try to hold on to things that are, by their very nature, fleeting. It's a battle we cannot win, and in the process we lose the opportunity to truly experience and appreciate the present. But what if, instead of clinging to that leaf, we let it go? What if we allowed ourselves to flow with the river of life, embracing its twists and turns? This, according to Epictetus, is the key to inner peace. By accepting the transient nature of all things, we free ourselves from the chains of attachment. We learn to live in the moment, savoring each experience as a unique and temporary gift. This doesn't mean we become detached or indifferent. Rather, we engage with life more deeply, fully aware that each moment is precious, precisely because it is fleeting. Consider the words of Stoic philosopher Seneca. Life is like a play. It's not the length but the excellence of the acting that matters. In the grand play of life, each scene, each act, is transient. By accepting this, we can perform our roles with passion and authenticity, unburdened by the fear of the final curtain. As we continue to explore Epictetus' teachings, we see a recurring theme: the importance of letting go of attachments that cause suffering. This doesn't mean we should shun relationships or abandon our goals. Rather, it's about approaching life with a mindset that is both grounded and liberated. It's about understanding that change is inevitable and that our true strength lies in our ability to adapt and grow with it. So, as you navigate the ebbs and flows of your own life, remember the wisdom of Epictetus. Embrace the impermanence of all things. Appreciate the beauty of the present moment. Let go of the need for permanence, and in doing so, find a sense of peace and freedom. Life is a river, and we are all travelers on its course. By flowing with it, rather than resisting it, we can experience the full richness and wonder that life has to offer. In this way, the philosophy of Epictetus isn't just a set of teachings. It's a guide to living a life of resilience, serenity, and profound appreciation. It's a reminder that, in the grand tapestry of existence, each thread is woven for but a moment yet contributes to the beauty of the whole. Embrace this truth, and you'll find that even when life hurts, there is a path to tranquility and joy. Stop clinging to past mistakes and regrets. In the tapestry of life, each thread represents a unique experience, a lesson learned, or a path taken, particularly for peoples in the age bracket of 30 to 65, who have traversed various terrains of life. This analogy holds profound significance. Often these threads are colored by our mistakes and regrets, hues that can either add depth to our life's picture or overshadow its beauty. Many of us, in moments of introspection, find ourselves entangled in these threads, lost in the labyrinth of what has been, pondering incessantly over our past errors. This habitual clinging to bygone times is not just a mere reflection, but a significant source of anguish and suffering. Epictetus, an emblem of Stoic wisdom, offers a lantern in this darkness. He implores us to perceive our past not as a chain that fetters us, but as a chisel that shapes us. His teachings illuminate the path of acceptance, urging us to view our past mistakes as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters, Epictetus once said. This profound statement encapsulates the essence of Stoicism and serves as a guiding principle for those seeking solace in its teachings. The past, as Epictetus asserts, is an entity beyond our dominion. No amount of yearning can alter the events that have unfolded. The past is immutable, a tapestry already woven. His counsel is to anchor ourselves in the present, the only realm where we wield control. Our actions, thoughts, and reactions are the tools at our disposal, and it is through these that we can sculpt our present and future. By embracing our past errors, not as burdens but as tutors, we equip ourselves with wisdom and resilience. Dwelling on what has been is akin to chasing the wind, an endeavor both futile and exhausting. Instead, we should focus on the now, using our history not as a crutch but as a compass, guiding us towards wiser, more informed decisions. In the context of modern life, where the pace is relentless and the pressure to succeed is immense, this Stoic philosophy is a beacon of hope. It teaches us that our past does not define us. Rather, it prepares us for what is to come. As men navigating the complexities of midlife, this perspective is invaluable. It encourages us to let go of the weight of our past mistakes, freeing us to fully engage with the present and embrace the future with optimism and clarity. In conclusion, as we journey through life, let us remember the words of another great Stoic, Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This powerful quote complements Epictetus's teachings and serves as a reminder that our true power lies in our perception and reaction to life's challenges. By adopting this Stoic mindset, we can transform our past regrets into lessons of strength, forging a path forward that is marked by wisdom, resilience, and an unwavering spirit. Stop clinging to the need for constant comfort and ease. In our quest for a life filled with comfort and ease, we often find ourselves clinging to these luxuries, inadvertently nurturing a fear of discomfort and an aversion to challenges. This mindset, while seemingly benign, can significantly impede our personal growth and resilience. The philosophy of Epictetus, a luminary in the Stoic tradition, offers a profound perspective on this issue. He asserts that true strength and character are not cultivated in the tranquil waters of comfort, but rather in the turbulent seas of adversity and challenges. Epictetus encourages us to not only accept but also embrace difficult situations, viewing them as invaluable opportunities for personal development. When we willingly confront discomfort and challenges, we evolve into more adaptable, resilient beings, better equipped to navigate the uncertainties of life. He underscores the importance of becoming comfortable with discomfort, as it is in these challenging moments that we often gain the deepest insights into our true selves and our potential. In contrast, an unwavering attachment to comfort can lead to a state of stagnation, whereas the willingness to embrace challenges can propel us toward significant personal growth and fulfillment. To illustrate this concept, consider the allegory of the butterfly. A butterfly's struggle to emerge from its cocoon is essential for its development. If we were to cut the cocoon open to ease its path, the butterfly would emerge prematurely, weak and incapable of flight. Similarly, our struggles and challenges are instrumental in developing our strength and capabilities. They are not impediments, but rather catalysts for growth and transformation. In the modern world, where the pursuit of comfort is often glorified, Epictetus's teachings remind us of the value in stepping out of our comfort zones. For instance, consider the story of a young entrepreneur who, despite facing numerous setbacks, persisted in his endeavors. Each obstacle he encountered taught him valuable lessons, ultimately contributing to his success and resilience. This real-life example echoes Epictetus's philosophy, demonstrating how embracing challenges can lead to remarkable personal and professional growth. To make these teachings more relatable to a general audience, let's consider everyday scenarios. Imagine choosing to take the stairs instead of the elevator, or opting to have a difficult conversation rather than avoiding it. These small acts of embracing discomfort can significantly contribute to our personal development, echoing the wisdom of Epictetus. In conclusion, Epictetus' philosophy teaches us a valuable lesson. The path to growth and fulfillment lies not in clinging to comfort, but in embracing the challenges and discomforts that life presents. As we navigate through life's ups and downs, let us remember that it is through adversity that we uncover our true strength and potential. This perspective can profoundly transform how we approach life's challenges, encouraging us to view them not as obstacles but as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Let this be a guiding principle in our lives, inspiring us to step out of our comfort zones and embrace the journey of personal development with resilience and courage. Stop clinging to the opinions of others. In our journey through life, we often find ourselves overly concerned with the opinions of others, a sentiment deeply explored by the Stoic philosopher Epictetus. This fixation on external validation can be seen in the lengths people go to be liked or accepted. In modern times, unlike our tribal ancestors, our survival doesn't hinge on the acceptance of a group, yet we still crave positive perceptions from those around us. Being likable aids in friendship, attractiveness in romance, and being seen as intelligent and capable can advance our careers. However, Epictetus challenges this notion, placing greater value on inner peace and equanimity. Epictetus advises us not to grieve over trivial social slights, such as not being invited to a party, especially if we harbor no real affection for the host. He points out the hidden costs of such social endeavors, the insincere praise, and the time spent in company we might not enjoy. The philosopher suggests that the absence of these obligations can be a reward in itself, freeing us from the need to engage in disingenuous behavior. The relentless pursuit of being liked is, as Epictetus notes, a tiring endeavor. It involves actions and commitments that often do not align with our true desires or contribute to our tranquility. Epictetus boldly states that we should be willing to be laughed at, ridiculed, or despised if it means maintaining our equanimity, freedom, and tranquility. He encourages embracing the idea of being misunderstood or underestimated, reminding us that those who criticize us are unaware of our full range of flaws and are only scratching the surface. Epictetus's teachings highlight a crucial Stoic principle. The opinions of others are outside our control, but our reaction to them is within our power. We face a choice: to be swayed and burdened by these opinions, or to use them constructively before releasing them. This concept is encapsulated in his quote, "Remember that not he who gives ill language or a blow insults, but the principle which represents these things as insulting. When, therefore, anyone provokes you, be assured that it is your own opinion which provokes you." Now consider the tale of a young musician who, despite his talent, faced constant criticism. His peers often belittled his unique style, and he struggled with the weight of their opinions. However, recalling Epictetus's teachings, he began to see these criticisms as reflections of the critic's perspectives, not as definitive judgments of his worth or talent. This shift in perception allowed him to embrace his unique style more fully, eventually leading to a successful career defined by his originality. In conclusion, Epictetus's wisdom teaches us a valuable lesson. The pursuit of external validation is a path fraught with dissatisfaction and inauthenticity. Instead, we should focus on cultivating our inner tranquility and freedom, understanding that our reactions to others' opinions are within our control. By embracing this Stoic principle, we can navigate life with a serene mind and a resilient spirit, unburdened by the fleeting judgments of others. This approach not only fosters personal growth and happiness, but also allows us to live more authentically, aligned with our true selves. Stop clinging to outcomes and ideas. The universe, in its vast and unyielding nature, operates beyond our control. We often find ourselves entangled in a web of expectations about how things should unfold, both in the present and the future, as well as ruminating over the past. This relentless resistance against the natural flow of life only amplifies our suffering. Epictetus, with his insightful wisdom, illustrates this through the analogy of a servant and master. A servant, by definition, is expected to be obedient. However, Epictetus points out the crucial understanding that true power lies in accepting that a servant may not always conform to this expectation. This allegory extends far beyond the relationship between a servant and a master. It's a metaphor for life itself. In our pursuit of an ideal world, one without offense or discomfort, we often forget the inherent nature of humanity, its unpredictability and imperfection. The quest for a world sanitized of all that offends is not only unrealistic, but potentially harmful. Instead, Epictetus urges us to pivot our focus inward to cultivate kindness within ourselves, an aspect we truly have control over. His words resonate deeply. Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. This profound statement encapsulates the essence of Stoic thought. Epictetus further elaborates on this concept by highlighting our power over our reactions and attitudes. The external world will continue in its unpredictable dance. Insults may be hurled our way, possessions might be lost, and relationships can falter. Yet, the true measure of our strength lies in how we respond to these events. Our mental and emotional fortitude is not dictated by external circumstances, but by our internal choices. As Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, wisely stated, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The Stoic journey is not about denying the challenges and pains of life, but about embracing them with a serene mind and a resilient spirit. It's about understanding that while the comings and goings of the world are beyond our control, our reaction to them is entirely within our grasp. When we release our tight grip on how life should be and accept it as it is, we don't just survive, we thrive. This acceptance is not a passive resignation, but an active engagement in living well, regardless of fortune's whims. In essence, the philosophy of Epictetus teaches us a valuable lesson. In the grand tapestry of life, we cannot dictate the pattern, but we can choose the colors with which we paint our individual threads. It's a call to focus on our internal landscape, cultivating peace, resilience, and kindness, regardless of the external chaos. By doing so, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life, finding harmony and strength in the face of adversity. Remember, dear listener, as you navigate through the ebbs and flows of your own life, the power to live well despite the uncertainties and challenges lies within you. Stop clinging to objects, people, and power. In the quest to navigate life's turbulent waters, we often find ourselves clinging to objects, people, and power, a behavior deeply ingrained in our human nature. This attachment, often confused with love, brings a fleeting joy in the presence of what we hold dear, but ushers in profound agony when faced with the prospect of loss. The tragedy deepens as we suffer the pangs of loss in our imagination, long before it materializes in reality. This clinging is not just a mere emotional response. It's a resistance to the inevitable separations that life brings, a continual source of hurt. Consider the case of power, a pursuit that has ensnared many. The ancient Greek philosopher Epicurus astutely observed that power is an insatiable beast, always craving more. This relentless pursuit often corrupts, leading to widespread misery, as those intoxicated by power cling to it desperately, fearing its loss. Yet the irony lies in the very nature of power. It suggests control, but is, in essence, beyond our control. It can be granted or snatched away in a heartbeat. To fight against this impermanence is folly. The philosophy of Epictetus offers a beacon of wisdom in this regard. He teaches us that it's not the things themselves that disturb people, but their judgments about these things. When we cling to something, be it a person, an object, or power, we are not just holding on to it. We are also holding on to our judgment about its importance in our lives. This attachment is a recipe for suffering, as everything in life is transient. To live in harmony with nature, as Stoics advocate, we must embrace this transience. We must learn to appreciate and enjoy what we have without becoming dependent on it for our happiness. This doesn't mean we should become indifferent or unfeeling. Rather, it's about understanding the fleeting nature of everything around us and finding peace in that understanding. As Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In our modern lives, this Stoic principle is more relevant than ever. We live in a world of constant change, where jobs, relationships, and even our personal beliefs are continually evolving. By embracing the Stoic way, we can navigate these changes with a serene mind, understanding that our happiness does not depend on clinging to what is inherently impermanent. Instead, we find strength in our ability to adapt, to let go when necessary, and to find contentment within ourselves, regardless of external circumstances. In conclusion, the philosophy of Epictetus, enriched by the insights of other Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Epicurus, offers a powerful framework for dealing with the attachments and power struggles that pervade our lives. By understanding and accepting the impermanent nature of all things, we can live more freely, unburdened by the fear of loss and the pain of clinging to what we cannot control. This Stoic wisdom, when applied to our modern lives, not only brings inner peace, but also empowers us to face life's challenges with resilience and grace. Epictetus imparted a timeless piece of wisdom that resonates profoundly with our contemporary lives. He likened life to a dinner party, a metaphor that simplifies yet deeply encapsulates our interactions with the world. Imagine yourself at this grand feast of life. Dishes of various kinds representing objects, relationships, and opportunities are passed around. Epictetus advises, "Is anything brought around to you? Put out your hand and take your share with moderation. Does it pass by you? Don't stop it. Is it not yet come? Don't stretch your desire towards it, but wait till it reaches you." This philosophy extends to all facets of life, be it family, career, or wealth. By adopting this mindset, Epictetus assures us, we align ourselves not just with the earthly banquet but also with the divine. Epictetus further elaborates on this concept, suggesting that true mastery comes not just from accepting what life offers, but also from being able to refuse it. This reflects a deeper understanding of living in harmony with nature, accepting the flow of life as it is, rather than resisting or fighting against it. The core of Epictetus's teaching lies in altering our perception towards loss and attachment. He urges us to view our possessions, relationships, and even our loved ones, not as permanent entities that we own, but as temporary gifts that are borrowed. He poignantly states, "Never say of anything, 'I have lost it, but I have returned it.'" This perspective shift is crucial. Whether it's the death of a loved one or the loss of material wealth, Epictetus teaches us to see these events not as personal losses, but as the natural process of returning what was never truly ours. This viewpoint is akin to a traveler's relationship with a hotel, temporary and transient. This philosophy is not just a Stoic resignation, but a practical approach to life. If we truly owned our possessions, relationships, or status, they would be ours forever. But the reality is different. Everything is subject to change and loss. Therefore, the concept of borrowing aligns more closely with the nature of our existence. Clinging to what we don't truly own only leads to suffering. Epictetus doesn't advocate for detachment from the joys of life. Rather, He encourages us to enjoy them without becoming enslaved by attachment. Now let's consider a modern analogy. Imagine you're using a smartphone that you know you have to return in a year. You would undoubtedly enjoy its features, but you wouldn't be devastated when it's time to give it back. This is the essence of Epictetus's teaching, to fully engage with and appreciate life's offerings while being prepared to let go when the time comes. Epictetus's philosophy is a powerful antidote to the pain of attachment and loss. It teaches us to cherish and care for what we have, yet always remain aware of its impermanent nature. This approach fosters resilience, peace, and a deeper appreciation for the present moment. It's a reminder that while we can't control everything in life, we can control our perceptions and reactions. In conclusion, Epictetus's wisdom offers a profound lesson for our lives. By viewing our possessions, relationships, and experiences as temporary gifts, we learn to live with gratitude and moderation. This mindset not only prepares us for the inevitable changes and losses in life, but also enriches our daily experiences. As we navigate through life's banquet, let us savor each moment, mindful of its fleeting nature, and cultivate a heart that is both full and free. As we conclude this enlightening journey through the philosophy of Epictetus, it's crucial to remember that the wisdom we've explored is not just for contemplation, but for action. Epictetus challenges us to let go of our attachments to the external, be it objects, opinions, outcomes, or the illusion of permanence, and to focus instead on what we can control: our thoughts, actions, and reactions. In your daily life, I encourage you to apply these Stoic principles. When faced with loss or disappointment, remember that it's not the event itself that disturbs us, but our judgment about it. Practice seeing things as borrowed and appreciate them without clinging. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, and let go of the need for constant comfort. Reflect on your past mistakes not with regret, but as lessons to forge a wiser path forward. And now, I invite you to share your thoughts and experiences. How have you applied Stoic principles in your life? What challenges have you faced, and how did Stoicism help you navigate through them? Your insights and stories can inspire and guide others in our community. So, please, leave your comments below, and let's continue to support each other on this Stoic journey. Remember, the path to personal growth and happiness lies in our ability to adapt and find contentment within, regardless of external circumstances. As we part ways in this video, I leave you with this thought. In the ebb and flow of life, our serenity and resilience are our greatest allies. Keep nurturing them, and you'll find that happiness is not a distant dream, but a present reality. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Stoic in Your Life. If you found value in this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. Together, let's continue to explore how ancient philosophy can illuminate our modern lives. Until next time, stay stoic and remember, the power to live a fulfilling life lies within you.